Howdy and welcome back to the channel. So I'm not using my camera setup, which is behind me. We're just going to use the regular lighting because I'm trying to work on some projects here in the shop. So I've been working on some Obsidian slabs. Normally I don't take on Obsidian slabs for customer projects, but it was a friend of a friend. And I decided, yeah, I'll go ahead and take on that project order. So I'm going to show you kind of the steps that I kind of went through with it. There were a few setbacks, and otherwise this project would have been done and out the door a while back. But for me, Obsidian slabs are a lot harder to do than a 3D contoured, rounded piece of Obsidian, because there's a much larger surface to work with. So I'm gonna flip you around here. So in order to be able to get a good sand on these pieces here, I had to first use these two to sand down all the saw marks. And then I thought for sure, because I have a 100, 400, and 600 belt, that would be sufficient enough to go from 600 to polish. For Obsidian, for this project, it was not sufficient enough. In fact, I went to polish and had to go back a couple steps. And then my next idea was to use the angle grinder and use, I think, the 800 and I think this is the 800 and the 1500, yeah. And then from those, go to the polishing pad, which my thought process was 100, 400, 600, 800, 1500, and then polishing pad. I would have been done. For the most part, it did work, but it kept leaving circular scratches on the surface, and I couldn't get rid of it, and it was driving me up the wall. So I had to go back a couple steps, take it back to the sander, resand it, stop at the 600, and then I'm like, I left this project on my desk for several days until I can come up with a different solution, which was to take apart my Genie and my blue machine. I didn't care for the wheels that came with the blue machine. I think I showed it in a previous video where I was working on some Obsidian, and one of the wheels left scratches and marks on it, and since then I will not use this machine for Obsidian. So I had replaced the 600 grit wheel a while back on my Genie, and I kept the old one, which is this one right here. So that's my old wheel. I had swapped it out a while back because I noticed that when I was working on some stones going onto this wheel, they are getting more of a pre-polished finish, which tells me that this wheel is almost done. So rather than throw it away, I kept it just in case, which I'm glad I did. And then so I went from that machine to this wheel, took all the wheels off this one side and only had this one here in the center. That way these large slabs, because if you look over here, go these ones over here. If I were to have these right here, it would touch the wheel on either side, so I needed to have just the center wheel. And don't worry, this is just temporary. It's not a permanent fixture, because I realize that there's more weight on this side than there is on that side, so don't worry about that. But it actually really worked. I was able to get a decent, I guess you can call a pre-polish on there. So that's not polished yet. So I'll show you what I made over here. I made a slab grabber that allows me to use the polishing pad for the angle grinder for slabs. Because for me, slabs are really difficult to polish, well, on that wheel over there. Because this is a pretty thin slab. And so you can only imagine that's going to be really hard for me to be able to hold on to this, onto that carpet wheel. But also, the size of this slab takes up half that carpet wheel, and besides, for that carpet wheel, since I redid everything, I need to go back through and make some adjustments, because previously I could put a lot of weight onto it and it would not stop the carpet, or would not stop the wheel, whereas now if I put too much weight on the wheel, it stops it. So I made this, and it actually works pretty well. I just have it on a wooden lower cabinet here. This is temporary. This is actually on its way to the dumpster. I brought it in just now for this video, but and this is also just a prototype. I want to build something a little bit better. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get these slabs polished. Okay, so I know I'm going to make a mess. So one thing I need to be sure of is, especially with the amount of RPMs for this, is not to use too much water, because then I'm going to make a huge mess. I would have rather been able to do this outside, but it's dark. It's past 9:30, and I don't want to wake up my neighbors and get them on their bad side. So let's go ahead. Add a little bit of polish to the pad here. Just be sure to shake the work often. Definitely better than what I had last time. Well, that happened. It's been a couple days. I didn't actually swear like a sailor. That was just kind of a funny little joke to kind of throw in there to kind of ease the tension, because it was a pretty stressful night. But it kind of goes to show that accidents can happen on projects. Things can break, and I kind of know what happened after reviewing the footage of kind of what caused it to break, and so I know what to fix now to kind of prevent that from happening for future projects. Because I really do like the slab grabber and using the angle grinder. I just have to make a few tweaks to the whole thing altogether, kind of prevent, again, future things from happening and going wrong. So if you're ever working on something, you have an accident, or if it's a mistake, don't call it a mistake. It's a learning opportunity, because it's going to give you an opportunity to figure out what happened, what went wrong, and how to fix it. I still have 2 more slabs of this customer's to polish, and then I actually, aside from the 2 slabs, I have to go back and re-sand the surface of the one I broke, because after I cleaned it off a little bit more, I realized that needs to be redone again. So, yeah, I'm gonna get these polished up, and we'll show the end results before I get them shipped out. Okay, so we got the slabs all polished. It turned out really nice. Of course, here's the one that broke. It's really nice gold sheen obsidian. Let's go and zoom in. Hello! I can see my face. Yeah. See straight through that one. And you can also see me in it. Hello again. It turned out beautiful. Hello again. Look at that shine. And of course, that one that broke, but that is still absolutely, undoubtedly beautiful. So that would have been a nice big piece, but you know, I still like it. Nice gold sheen, nice shine, nice reflection. Hello there. A lot of nice flashes in there. And of course my shop light and me. And you got some layers of fire in there. Nice. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet piece. That's gonna do it for today, so thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you all in the next video. Rock on.